Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to a Mercury retrograde tarot card reading, where in this reading, I wanted to look at the energies that you'll be dealing with in this Mercury retrograde, which is going to be up until the 20th of March or so, and kind of see what you're going to be contemplating. What energies are you dealing with in this retrograde season? It's really interesting because we're starting off with the Justice card right here in the center of the entire spread in the upright position. And I thought to myself when I saw this that you're going to gain some kind of a balance or justice about a particular situation, but I was wondering what was the situation. And right below it sat the Six of Pentacles. And I've really been kind of looking at this for a moment here and just giving myself some time to absorb it, because the Six of Pentacles in the reversal is usury or a power dynamic. And it made me wonder if there was a position in your life or people in your life. The King is here, so perhaps people in a position of authority above you that were taking too much of your energy or made you feel off balance. It's unique because in the traditional tarot over 100 years ago, the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, when it was created, the Six of Pentacles was depicted with a gentleman who is holding the scales of balance. In the reversal, there's an off balance, but look at what ends up right above it is the scales being balanced. Like your personal power is going through a process in this Mercury retrograde of being balanced. But what's also unique is that the Six of Pentacles is financially associated to transactions. So your independence, your ability to give when you can, to take when you must, to take a break when you need to. Financially speaking, in the world of society around us, that can get difficult because we're a lot of people out there are in, survival mode. When things become financially imbalanced, it puts a person in a position of almost saying to themselves, how can I even grow when I don't have the money to do shit? How can I gain my independence? How can I be free of this kind of a system here with the King of Swords being so authoritarian, or people in your life holding the upper hand? How do you break out of that? Whether that's, breaking out of the dynamics that you have with family being an authority over you, spouses, a boss being in a position of authority over you. How do you break free into your own growth, into balancing the imbalances of the past when you're just trying to survive? And the unique dynamic that we have then surrounding the Justice card is losses and difficulties on both sides of it. First and foremost, we have the Eight of Swords, which is about being stuck. But a lot of the time it's like self-imposed difficulties, situations where you get stuck on your own, but you have the answers right in front of you. You're just not seeing them appropriately. And then the Seven of Wands is when you've had challenges, many challenges, in fact, where you were hoping to overcome these difficulties, but instead you end up faced with losses or embarrassments. I also think it's unique that the Magician card is here in the reversal. And if you think of the qualities of a magician, functionally, they deal with two very important things: dynamics of magic and dynamics of trickery and illusion. And it is in the reversal position here, so it weighs more on the idea of illusion. But on the other side of the reading, we have self-illusion. So I feel like this dynamic that you are in to some degree, where you feel like there's an imbalance that you're needing to balance out, especially in the realms of your independence, where you position yourself so that you don't have to depend on a lot of people. It might be a situation you put yourself in at some point, because there's like self-illusion going on in this reading a little bit here. Now, what I'm going to do is take the Animal Oriens deck, which we are using right now, and I'm going to shuffle it a little bit more. I'm just going to dig into it. Because remember, the idea for this reading is that we are asking the question, what are you going to be dealing with over this Mercury retrograde? So I want to know. I want to dig into it. What is this imbalance? It's Three of Cups in the reversal. Three of Cups in general can come at a time when it's in the upright, though, of celebrations, unity, party, extravagance, uniting with people that could cause you, happy, bubbly, together energy. But in the reversal, the kind of energy happens when you gather with situations or you gather with people that render you into a position of excess, like spending too much money. Six of Pentacles, transactionary. Partying and drinking and alcohol and substance use is also here with the idea of the Three of Cups in the reversal, because we're talking about excess, just like overspending. Eating poorly, we're talking about excess, right? That's the thing. It's not just seemingly an imbalance that's happening on the outer world, which it is, because the Six of Pentacles is the things in the world that are showing up for you in a transaction sense. But the Cups is linking this with the Justice card inside of yourself and the decisions that you're making. So I feel like for you in this particular Mercury retrograde, you are deciding where you want to put your energy to transactionally, and with the transactionary energy in yourself also. So what you're spending and what you're choosing to do with your time in terms of how you're dealing with excess. But I want to still look at this King of Swords. See, it's King of Pentacles. This looks like, it looks like people, like court cards in tarot, they represent people. We have two kings here. Right here. People in positions of authority. That's what a king is, right? And the court cards in tarot is, again, people in your life in traditional Rider-Waite sense, Rider-Waite-Smith way and style of reading tarot. Each king could be a person, but each king could be different aspects of yourself. I think it's more like people outside of you, because historically, if you have two of the same cards showing up, and now we have two kings, they have their own particular meaning. When you have two of them in the upright or two of them in the reversal, they have completely different meanings even further. And you have one in the upright, one in the reversal here. And that is projects when you have two of them in the reversal. And minor counsel that you have with others. That's why I said this looks more like you're dealing with other people when you're choosing how you're spending your money. And but again, if you take those two because you have one in the upright, one in the reversal, then all of a sudden it talks about projects that you have coming up in the future or that you're dealing with even now. And you're counseling with people to get these projects done. That could be why you're sitting here trying to calculate your money. Also, this Six of Pentacles, see how there's three people or three creatures? It's usually transactionary situations with money that happen with other people. And I think you might be kind of dealing with someone who is stubborn, bullheaded, but the King of Pentacles in the reversal can be somebody who is doing things in a downright mischievously evil way, like an inconsiderate way. That's one energy here. You want someone to perhaps consider your avenue in these projects in minor counsel. And then the other king who's having the counsel is coming from a position of very logical standpoint. But the King of Swords is very militant, so they like hyper analyze things in when they are counseling with another person. The King of Pentacles in the reversal position, when it's not somebody who's evil or inconsiderate, it's somebody, I'm going to be quite frank, it's somebody who has a propensity towards being stupid. They have bad intelligence in the decisions that they make. Now, it brings to mind also that could be showing up if you have been dealing with excess, because the card of excess is here, and spending, then you may be considering stupid decisions and money that you have spent. It doesn't have to mean you are a wholly stupid person. Nobody is usually wholly stupid. But there may have been decisions that you're looking at where you're like, damn it, I shouldn't have spent that money. Or if it's connected to substances and things like that, you may be, if this is your energy, the King of Pentacles, you may be looking at situations that need balance, that you have made less than intelligent decisions with respect to how you're handling your body. Like, again, overeating, overthinking, over anxiety, over lustful behaviors, overindulgence, substance use, partying, alcohol, gluttony. But you could be dealing with another person and you're watching them in that energy, or you may be counseling with them, right? You may be having to find a way to discuss matters surrounding a person who might be overindulging in things. They may be the one who's getting themselves stuck into certain situations, with this Eight of Swords being concepts of illusion and self-sabotage. Okay, one more thing I want to do here. What's the outcome of this project or this counsel? Let's see what's going on. Let's shuffle a little bit further. Since you're counseling with someone, you're discussing, like you're making plans, you're dealing with some kind of a project, and the people involved in this project are seemingly going through self-gratification. It looks like everybody in this situation wants to get their piece, and they're not necessarily there yet. I want to know if you guys are going to be there yet, getting what you need. Three of Pentacles. Okay. In the reversal. Yeah. All right. I think there's going to be an ending to some kind of situation, a transformation of the dynamic. But the Three of Pentacles is when people are coming from a position of not cooperating properly, and they're petty. They might have petty avenues to the way that they're thinking. They want their way or the highway. And the Queen of Swords is somebody who's grieving. It's almost like you can see the card looking at the death situation here if we look at it from an intuitive standpoint. Three of Swords is heartbreak. Yeah, that's 2 threes now. Oh, I do kind of like that, though. 2 threes is calm and safety. Queen of Swords, Justice. All right, okay. All right, there's the balance right there. The difficulties of excess. Actually, this is the 3rd 3 now, because remember, we had the 3 of Cups. 2 threes in the reversal position is putting yourself into a position of safety. Calm and safety. And then, but if we kind of incorporate that other 3 as well, which I haven't seen in quite some time, it's the card of Serenity. I love 3s. When you get multiple 3s, they're almost always good. And it's been a while since I've seen 3 3s pop up in a reading. So the pettiness or the thoughts of non-cooperation or people doing their own self-gratification, that's what's going to be balancing out. So if there is somebody who's doing over excess or overspending, or maybe each of you have an issue. I mean, there's a lot of 3s, so it could be 3 people involved in this dynamic. Whoever it is, if there's over excess, especially if it was coming from a grief, like someone was overspending to deal with their grieving, or someone was overindulging in substances or partying or being flippant or over anxiety with their grieving, that grief is going to be balanced out, and you're going to end up seeing a position of calm, serenity, and safety appropriately instilled into the minds of these people. So the counsel that you're going to have with this other person, it's going to lead to a very appropriate outcome. That's no wonder why the death and transformation is here. It's the death of the heartbreak and the balancing of the grieving. Great energy. I love it, Aquarius. All right. All right, I'm going to leave you guys off with that. I'm going to head over to TikTok and do another reading for you guys, though, if you're interested in hopping over to TikTok and seeing. I've got member section readings, and I've got more free readings specifically for Aquarius, so you're more than welcome to hop over there if you'd like. That's also where I do my live streams if you're ever interested as well. Thank you very much for joining me here. I will talk to you later. If you'd like a private reading, feel free to hit me up in the link in my bio, and I will talk to you later. Ciao for now.